afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And I hope I'm going to be exciting you after a big lunch break. It's a challenging time, right? Okay. It's really encouraging to see the clear commitment from corporate South Africa, business represented here, to support bridging the gender gap. I say so because there's a clear divide in South Africa. You will know that while we are saying we are fully represented here, we have 4% of women leaders in business, and we still have 20% of businesses in corporate where there's no single women in leadership positions. My topic, as indicated, is really smashing the glass ceiling. And you will wonder whether I have the winning formula of smashing the glass ceiling. I'm not necessarily sure that I have a winning formula. However, my view is that there's no secret to success, especially as a woman in business. Everyone has a different, glass ceiling. Glass ceiling can mean anything to any one of us. It can mean a promotion to an executive level position. It can mean being recognized for good work, being treated fairly. However, it's important that in that situation you identify the people and the environment as well as the situations that will help you to smash that glass ceiling. I'm very happy to confirm with you that I got that tool at PwC so that at least I can smash the glass ceiling. So that's why I'm saying I don't think I have a winning formula. However, for me to get to where I am, maybe it's because I identified the people who can help me and the tools. So I would really like to share my story. This morning when Dr. Motsepe was talking, I felt like she's just talking to me. You will hear when I share with you. I was born from a humble family. Both my parents are professionals. So therefore, you will pick up that education was no choice for me. I had to make sure that I'm educated. And because I believe that, education brings freedom. While I say both my parents were professionals, I was never raised by my parents. I was raised by my granny back in Soweto. So that's why I was saying when Dr. Motsepe was talking this morning, she was just talking to me because she mentioned the fact that she comes from Tladi, I come from White City. Okay, I can hear that there's people from White City here. So I really adore my granny in the sense that I believe that she's the one who really empowered me to be independent. You will know that if you're from a black family, you're raised by a granny, all the chores in the family, you have to make sure that you do them. In my case, it was even worse because I was the eldest granddaughter. Not necessarily with my siblings, but with my cousins, all those other extended families. So you can imagine that while I was attending school, I had to make sure that there's water, there's everything else that is supposed to be there in the house. So it means there were challenges. I can safely say that my parents really didn't struggle financially because if they are professionals, they can keep on providing financially. However, given the environment, it's not only about finances so that at least you find yourself in a suitable environment to study. You keep on making sure that you have everything on the table so that at least the other younger grandchildren are, looked after. I was close to my mother, and during school holidays, I would visit her at the hospital while staying at the nurse's home. Guess what happened? I was slowly intrigued by the younger doctors in white uniform. So meaning that I never dreamed to be a chartered accountant. Christine? No, it was not my dream. I always wanted to be a medical doctor because when I see those young doctors walking around in white uniforms, for me, it was just exciting. However, something happened in my life. I became pregnant at a very early stage, But I must indicate to you that that pregnancy didn't dictate my choice going forward. Immediately after a year, I had all the support in terms of looking after my son. Then next year, I saw myself queuing at a local university to further my studies. Guess what? When I get there, unfortunately, the number for BSc students was now reached. And I didn't have a role model to look up to. I didn't know what else I must do besides BSc. Then I asked the people who were helping us at the local university, what is next to medicine? And the answer was, no, maybe you must do BCom accounting. They looked at my results, right? And they could see that I'm an intellectual. So the next thing to do is BSc. I then registered for BCom accounting. I must say it was not necessarily very easy because I didn't do accounting at high school. It was my first time doing accounting at university level. You know how university life is. You were at home, high school, under your granny's supervision. Now you see yourself at a local university, staying at a hostel. There's challenges, right? There's too much freedom. I neglected my studies. I failed majority of my courses, first semester. So I believe that I'm a very resilient person in the sense that I had to quickly think hard to say I need to have plan B. My plan B was to start waking up around 2 o'clock every morning so that at least I can put more effort. Having not done accounting, I need to put more effort so that at least I can get better results. I knew the journey was not going to be an easy one. Like any other black female, I was confronted with challenges. However, through determination, resilience, perseverance, hard work, and passion, I saw myself finishing off my degree, CTA, which is a pre to chartered accountant, and then eventually chartered accountant. I need to really share the story around during the traineeship because people who are coming from the profession will confirm that it's not easy to go through the traineeship process. Those days, if you don't raise your hand, you don't get planned. I served my articles at the former Coopers and Leibrand in Pretoria office. As long as I say Pretoria office, majority of the clients were Africans. So I believe in raising my hand all the time because I know that if you don't raise your hand, nobody is gonna come to you. There I go one day, I'm not planned in the office, and I remember very well the partner that I reached out to. It's Professor van Jaarsveld. I went to his office, I don't have work. Then the response was that, no, my girl, the only clients I have is Africans. You remember Sambo? Yes, I remember very well. So Mr. van Jaarsveld gave me Sambo as a client. He said, no, Shirley, this is the only client I have. Guess what I did? I had a positive attitude because I knew where I was going. So I then said to him, no, I'm going to take this assignment and I'm going to use the Tuietalehe. That's the dictionary. I took the dictionary, I put it on the side, and then I went through the financial statements, faster butters, you name it. Then I kept on interpreting using my Tuietalehe. That's how, I changed the whole thinking. Mr. van Jaarsveld, ever since then, planned me on most of his assignments. In fact, it was not necessarily African-speaking clients, it was also English clients. But it's because I didn't have the attitude of saying, no, I can't do it. Because those days, if you say that, they ignore you. And then you finish 3 years without being empowered. So I can safely say to you, my articles were really very empowering. Those days, you wouldn't find majority of the black trainee accountants being exposed to central banks. I can comfortably say to you, if you look at my article CV, I have Central Bank of Botswana, Central Bank of Mauritius, South African Reserve Bank, and all those. I want to share with you that, I run my career like a business. I have to have the strategy in place. I have to know where I'm going. I have to know how I'm going to get there, because even if you have a strategy, if you don't know how you're going to get there, it becomes a paper in the drawer. So how to get there, it involves a lot of things. Your mentors, even today I have mentors. And guess what? My mentors are not necessarily only females. I have a combination of mentors. Females and males. Business people and academia, you know, the variety of mentors, so that at least I always look at what is it that I need from a particular mentor. What can I get to help me to get there? That's how I make sure that I get the right mentors. With the assistance of my mentors, formally and informally, I had tools to implement my strategy to get where I am today. It's about preparing for meetings. It's about updating myself with the latest developments in our profession. There's no way that you can just, cruise. You have to update yourself on a regular basis. There's a lot of information that we have to, keep on digging up, and I normally do that. Branding myself without losing myself is also very important. Because these days we have social media, you can put something on social media and there you go, you lose yourself. As I said to you, I keep on raising my hand. Even today, I raise my hand. For me to get to the CEO position for PwC, those who know the environment, we run normal elections, like the country elections. So somebody identified the potential in me that I am suitable for this position. And guess what? When my name was put forward, I never looked back or around me and say, are they talking about myself? I was confident to say I'm the best person to take over this job. Because I've been in PwC for so many years and I've, exceptionally did well when it comes to the roles that were, afforded to me. I was the chairman of the board from 2012 until last year. I was also on the global board. So therefore, really, I know every corner of PwC. My leadership capabilities were evident from school days, and even where I worked, as I shared with you now. I got a lot of accolades, which I already shared with you. Some of them are the first female board chair for PwC, now the first female CEO. The first female African global board member. By that time, we were only two. One lady was from Mexico. She couldn't even speak proper English. And I said to myself, no, it's not only me. We are together. So my recipe really is to remain focused, consistent, principled, perfect what I do all the time, and never give up in whatever I do, including good work ethics. I think I took after my mother. My mother today, she's a retired professional nurse, but she still wakes up around 5 o'clock in the morning. Emotional intelligence is also one of my strong attributes. That's one message I think I should share with you. Along the road that you are traveling in your career, you'll be upset. You'll get emails during the day that will upset you. What do? I don't respond instantly. Because remember, if you respond instantly, you're going to really mess up. I sleep on that matter, whatever it is, and then tomorrow morning when I wake up, I become a different person. Then I can be able to respond in a professional manner. I also choose my own battles and not fight everything, including small fights. I always avoid unnecessary distractions to my plan. You heard, Caster saying, he's always focused. He doesn't want to talk about non-issues. I always have a purpose, know my identity. It's important to know yourself and to know what you want in life. This resulted in all my seniors respecting me and listening to me, hence my influential attitude. I must say, back in the office, I'm very influential. You will hear when we start talking on the panel, I'm really making inroads in terms of empowering other women so that at least I'm not the only female CEO. I'm not the only female chair. There's also a pipeline that is going to be ready and confident to take over after my time. You know, when Caster was talking about the fact that nobody's going to dictate his future, I felt it seems as if he looked at my notes. I said here, I'm one person who does not allow somebody to dictate my future. I believe I should be the one dictating my future. You know, people can say a lot about you, to say, no, but you are very good in this, you are very good in that, but you should know yourself. Otherwise, you're going to end up in wrong places. The support of friends, family, colleagues, seniors, and mentors who keep providing the tools and advices to keep me shining is profound. I can't say I reached where I am on my own. I had my seniors back in the office who believed in me, who supported me. I must tell you, the whole process of the elections was not easy. The real same country process is the same processes that we go through. There's lobbying, you know, there's smear campaigning and all those things. But every time, I remember my mother was on speed dial that moment. And my CEO, I remember one day I went to his office, I said, you know what, I'm even getting sick. And I was really getting sick. But he kept on saying, Shirley, you are the right person for the job. I believe in you, and don't look at what is happening, just keep focused. And here I am today. Coming from a very Christian family, I would not have done justice by not mentioning that, you know, prayer has been the pillar of my strength throughout the journey. I don't remember any instance where I would not pray about my plans in life, be it social, career, and work life. For your information, I don't only pray when I'm in trouble. I also pray when everything is going well. I always thank God for everything that He has done for me, because I believe without Him, I was not going to be where I am. Today, I consider myself a mentor. Some people will ask, so are you mentoring some people? Yes, I have a lot of mentees, you know, inside PwC and outside PwC. Because I believe that I need to build the strong pipeline. This way, I'll be influential to contribute in building the critical mass and eventually contributing to the talent pipeline, which is currently not great. Even if we have a very comprehensive diversity and inclusion program at PwC, we still have a long way to go. And I believe that as the female CEO, I am a game changer. I need to make sure that things are different. The conversations at the boardroom are different. I always believe that the sky is not the limit for me and for everybody else. Where I am today is not the end, it is just the beginning. My vision is to build an undisputed #1 professional services firm with quality clients and quality people. If I can show the women in our organization that the glass ceiling is something that we all have to work together to dispel, then I will have succeeded in creating a legacy of having nurtured and developed a cohort of young up and coming leaders for the future, both male and female. I have a son, so I can't keep on talking females, and I think all of us as females, we have the responsibility of empowering our females as well as our male, our boy child. My overall message is that success has no address. Success has no color. Success has no gender. All you do is keep pursuing your dreams and keep working until you reach where you are going. Thank you very much for listening.